Welcome to this evening program to celebrate Shri Ram Navami, where instead of us all gathering in one temple, we are all gathering in many temples in our homes. Hare Krishna. All right. So I would like to glorify Shri Ram through reading something from the holy books. And the first verse I've chosen is from the Shri Ishopanishad, the first mantra. It says, Ishavasyam idam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjita magridakasya spittanam. Translation, Bashila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki Jai. Everything animate or inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota, and one should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. So very nice verse there, where, and this is the first verse of the Ishopanishad, where the instruction is, understand that the Supreme Lord is the owner of everything in the universe, animate or inanimate. He is the owner of everything. And he sets aside a number of things for the individual so he can use them in his life. If we take more than what is allocated to us, then we are thieves. Very important to understand. What is allocated to you, use, you're allowed to, but take more, and then you are a thief. And that was the position of Ravan. He wanted to steal Sita Devi. Now, the Valmiki Ramayana is a wonderful scripture. And right in the beginning, in the Balkan, right in the first few verses, there's a nice description of Dashrath Maharaj and how he had lovely ministers to help him rule the kingdom. So I will just take a sample reading from this because there's so much detail here. It's a wonderful scripture. And you will understand from this the quality of ministers a ruler must have. So it says here, the ministers of the exceptionally master. The ministers must be devoted to the welfare of their beloved master. See the ministers here, what the qualities are, and how they behave towards the king. And compare all what I'm reading now with what you see around the world, with how people are ruling the different countries. It is totally different. In short, they were endowed with all virtues appropriate to a minister. 8 in number were the ministers of that heroic king, who were all glorious, pure of mind and conduct, and ever devoted to the affairs of the king. They were Drishti, Jayant, Vijay, Surashtra, Ashtavardhan, Akop, Dharmapal, and Arthavid, and lastly Sumantra being the 8th. And Sumantra is the one we are all familiar with. And then the king also had those are administrative ministers. Then king also had 8 spiritual ministers. Vasisht and Vamde, the foremost of seers, were his 2 beloved family priests and counselors. And there were other counselors too. And there were Suyagya and Jabali, Kashyap, a scion of Kashyap. So it's not Kashyap, it's Kashyap, a scion of Kashyap, and Gautam, and the long-lived Markandeya, and the Brahman Katyaya. So the king had some wonderful ministers, administrative and spiritual, to help him run his kingdom, help him rule. And a wise ruler will appoint suitable ministers of high quality, and he will take their counsel. Now, Ravan surprisingly also had ministers and leaders around him who would counsel him. Now, his mistake, the trouble with Ravan is that Haribol, please mute. Okay. The trouble with Ravan is that he would not listen to his counselors. Here's an example. Here is an example from the Aranyakand of the Ramayana. After Ram killed Kar, Dushan, Trishira, and the 14,000 Rakshasas in the forest, Akampana, one of the survivors, went to Ravan to tell him what had happened. This is all due to Suparnika being told, we're not interested in you by Ram and Lakshmana. And then these 14,000 Rakshasas and these 3 leaders were sent. Ram disposed of them very easily. Then Ravan went, Akampana went to Ravan and reported what had happened. And then Ravan became angry and said, I now want to. And then he went to Marich. Marich was Ram, the son of Tarka. And Marich was shot by Ravan, but not killed. He was thrown into the ocean, so many yojans away. So he is now going to Marich. And here, see what Marich is saying to Ravan. This is good counsel. Hearing the request of Ravan, Marich replied as follows. Listen to this. By what enemy, in the guise of a friend, has Sita been mentioned to you as fit for abduction? Gladdened by you through gifts, etc., O tiger among Rakshasas, who does not rejoice in your welfare and wishes harm to you by putting you on the wrong track? Tell me who says bring Sita to Lanka? Who seeks to get rid of the topmost figure of the Rakshas world? So this is amazing. Again, I bet none of you ever thought of this, that Maharaj would be giving this sort of counsel to Ravan. In fact, most people Ravan was speaking to, his generals who were helping with the fight with the Ram's army, they were all counseling him not to do this. Even Kumbhakarna, when he woke up, they woke him up. During the middle of the battle, they woke Kumbhakarna up. The battle wasn't going very well. And when Kumbhakarna heard why he was woken up, he gave the same counsel to Ram. You should not do this. You should take Sita back to Ram, to Lord Ram. Hand her back. This will be the destruction of you. So this is what happens with people who do not listen to counsel. They may have good counsel, but they don't listen. They don't take it. This is what tyrants do. If you look at the rulers in modern history, what do tyrants do? They don't listen to anybody. They think they're the only person who knows what's right. So then Suparnika goes to Ravan and takes a complaint. And Ravan again is incited to kidnap Sita. And again Ravan goes to Marich. And again here, now Marich is again speaking. Marich is now saying, people speaking agreeable words are always easy to find. He who speaks words which, though unpalatable, are yet wholesome is difficult to find. See the wisdom of this wonderful scripture. We should all read our scriptures. There is so much wisdom in here. So much wisdom. Having not employed spies to find out the real state of affairs in your kingdom and being fidgety yourself, you surely do not know Ram, who is elevated to a point of excellence, going together with exceptional valor and is a compare of the mighty Indra and Varun. May all be well with you, O dear Ravan. Let not the infuriated Ram render the worlds empty of Rakshasas. Would that Sita were not born to compass the end of your life? Would that no great calamity befell you on account of Sita? Would that, having obtained you, licentious and unbridled as you are, as its master, the city of Lanka did not perish along with you, as also with the Rakshasas inhabiting it. A king who is licentious and evil-minded is of evil conduct and is counseled by sinful man, surely ruins himself, his own kith and kin, as well as his kin. This is amazing, amazing words in a holy book. Take our holy scriptures seriously, give them due attention and respect and reverence. Read them. Please read them. They will change your lives. They will give you good counsel. These scriptures will give you good counsel how to behave. This is important because Lord Ram is known as Maryada Purushottam. That is one whose example we should follow. So please, my request to you is on this day of Ram Navami, everybody please follow Lord Ram's example. And that you can only do if you read about him. Hare Krishna. And I would now like to hand over to the next part of the evening program, and that will be a Kirtan by Ishani Devi and Prem Prakash Prabhu. So Hare Krishna and enjoy the evening.
Okay. आपदामपहर्तारम् दातारं सर्वसम्पदा लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामम् भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् सीताराम 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 कहिए जाहि विधि राखे राम ताहि विधि रहिए सीताराम 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 कहिए जाहि विधि राखे राम ताहि विधि रहिए सीताराम 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 कहिए जाहि विधि राखे राम ताहि विधि रहिए सीताराम 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 कहिए जाहि विधि राखे राम ताहि विधि रहिए मुख पे हो राम नाम राम सेवा हाथ में मुख पे हो राम नाम राम सेवा हाथ में तू अकेला नहीं प्यारे राम तेरे साथ में तू अकेला नहीं प्यारे राम तेरे साथ फल आशा त्याग शुभ काम करते रहिए फल आशा त्याग शुभ काम करते रहिए जाहि विधि राखे राम ताहि विधि रहिए जाहि विधि राखे राम ताहि विधि जीवन की डोर सो हाथ दीनानाथ के जीवन की डोर सो हाथ दीनानाथ के महलों में राखे चाहे झोपड़ी में वास दे महलों में राखे चाहे झोपड़ी में वास राम राम निर्विवाद बात बार बार कहिए, राम राम निर्विवाद बार बार कहिए, चाहे वेदी राखे राम ताहे वेदी रहिए। सीताराम 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 कहिए, सीताराम 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 कहिए, जाहि विधि राखे राम ताहि विधि रहिए, जाहि विधि राखे राम ताहि विधि रहिए। किया अभिमान तो फिर मान नहीं पाएगा, अभिमान तो फिर मान नहीं पाएगा, किया अभिमान तो फिर मान नहीं पाएगा, अभिमान तो फिर मान नहीं पाएगा। होगा प्यार वही जो श्री राम जी को भाएगा, होगा प्यार वही जो श्री राम जी को भाएगा। फल आशा त्याग शुभ काम करते रहिए, फल आशा त्याग शुभ काम करते रहिए, जाहि विधि राखे राम ताहि विधि रहिए, जाहि विधि राखे राम ताहि विधि रहिए। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Veeravardhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Veeravardhari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Yashodanandana Raja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Raja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Raja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Jai Satchidananda Gaura Hari Jai Satchidananda Gaura Hari Jai Satchidananda Gaura Hari Jai Satchidananda Gaura Hari Jai Nityachan Jai Nityachan Jai Nityachan Jai Nityachan Jai Nityachan Jai Nityachan Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. नित्य गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।
जय श्री जगन्नाथ भगवान जय बलराम सुभद्रमानी की
जय 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 हरि हरि बोल।
Hare Krishna, all happy Navratri, happy Nam Navami. Raghunandan Raghava Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare
Raghunandan Raghava Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare
Raghunandan Raghava Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare
Raghunandan Raghava Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare
Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare
Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Raghunandan Raghava Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare
Raghunandan Raghava Rama Hare Siya Rama
Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare
Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare
Oh Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare
Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Rama Jai Rama Jai Jai Ram Shri Rama Jai Rama Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Raghunandan Raghav Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare
Raghunandana Raghav Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare
Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare
Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare
Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare
Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Wishing you all a happy Ramnami. We're now going to pass over to Gurusevak and Anuragi Devi Dasi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Ramchandra Bhagavan ki. Okay, so very well everyone, and I hope you're enjoying the Ram Navami program. So we'll actually do a little class on Lord Ram, obviously, for the wonderful festival of Ram Navami. And it really is a pleasure every time the Lord's festivals come. They allow us to celebrate the Lord, even though we do it every day. It's extra special when it's like the Lord's birthday. So today I wanted to cover a couple of topics which often people delve into or wonder why this happened in the Lord's Leela. So one of the main ones is why Sita Mata, when Lord Ram had gone through so much trouble to rescue her, actually had to leave Ayodhya. So there's a wonderful katha, actually. So when Sita Mata was very young and she was staying in Mithila, one day she was actually in her garden and she was looking at the wonderful scenery in the garden and she saw two birds, and they were a male and female bird, and they were flying around with each other, engaged in amorous pastimes. And they basically sat on a tree and started to talk. And they were saying that we've heard a katha about a famous person who's supposed to be born called Lord Ram. And they were saying about Lord Ram's katha, that where he'll be born, that he'll be born to Dasharath in the Surya Vansh, and that he will have three brothers, Bharat, Lakshman, Shatrughan. And when they went on to about the marriage of Lord Ram, they started to say that he will get married to the daughter of Janak. and it would be Sita. And Sita Mata was listening as she was looking around the garden. Then when she heard her own name, and she heard that this is the daughter Sita, the daughter of Janak, she immediately became curious. So she called the birds over and said, come over, come over. And the birds were initially very reluctant, because generally birds are obviously afraid of things like predators and being captured and put into cages and all that kind of stuff. So they were very hesitant initially, and Sita Mata assured them, no, come down, worry, you won't be harmed. And so they came and sat next to her on the balcony, and she said, I'm curious to hear about this personality that you're speaking about. This Ram that you've spoken about, he seems like a wonderful personality. I'd like to hear more. So she said, how have you heard about this? And they said, we are two birds who stayed in the ashram of Valmiki Muni. And we have been listening to a wonderful book that he is writing called Ramayana. So he's been saying these shlokas, and we've been repeating them back while we're in the ashram. So they basically started to tell Sita Mata about this. Then halfway through, they got a bit curious as to why is this little girl asking about this. So they said, who are you? Why are you asking about who this personality Lord Ram is? And she said, I am the daughter of Janak, Sita, that you're talking about. He goes, so he's going to be my husband. So she started asking, what is this Ram? What does he look like? So the bird started describing the Lord Ram's physique and his beauty, and it was just exactly the same as Lord Krishna. So describing the Lord will be tall, will have a very beautiful face, have an expansive chest with the mark of Shrivatsa. He will be incredibly powerful, great warrior. And Sita Mata said, after they told her everything, she said to them, she said, look, I want to keep you here with me now, because you know so much about my life that you can actually, I would like to know all of this stuff. So she said, you must stay here with me. And immediately the male bird said, oh, no, we can't do this. We're happy to tell you the katha, but we actually need to leave. They said, my wife at the moment is pregnant. So the male bird said, my wife at the moment is pregnant and she's due to give birth. And Sita Mata said, no, he goes, you must stay with me. You know so many of this katha of the man I'm going to marry. She's very curious. She's a small girl. And she said, no, you must stay. And so the Sita Mata captured the pregnant ladybird. And she was saying, and the male bird said, no, you must let us go. We've got a home in the forest. My wife's going to give birth to small children. You have to let us leave. And she said, no, because you can go, but I'm keeping this bird with me. Because you know how children are when we've got small children, like you see Gurungi or Titiksha, any of the children in the temple, as soon as you give them something, they think, oh, this is mine. Straight away. It doesn't matter what it is. You give them anything, but as soon as they grab hold of it, they don't wish to let go. So Sita Mata said, I'm keeping you. And the birds pleaded, please let us go, please let us go. So many times to them, I said, no, you'll be happy here. I'll look after you. I'll give you a nice place to stay, this and that. But they just wanted to go back to their home. So the female bird got so upset in this way, she actually cursed Sita Mata. That says, just as I'm pregnant right now and you're keeping me away from my husband, I curse you that when you will become pregnant and you will have children, Lord Ram will exile you from Ayodhya and you'll be away from him. And saying that, the female bird died on that spot because she didn't want to be separated from her husband. And the male bird was so angry with Sita Mata, he cursed her saying, I'm dying now in anger. I curse you that I will be reborn in Ayodhya and I will be the cause of you actually being thrown out. So and that bird died in the mud in anger. And he said because he was in anger, he was born in Ayodhya at that time as a Shudra. And his name was Krodana. Krodh meaning anger. He was actually, sorry. He died in anger, so his name was Krodana in his next life. And when Lord Rama rescued Sita Mata, and he brought her back to Ayodhya, there was a lot of wonderful the glorious reception of Lord Ram. The Diwali festival is that. Lord Ram's installed very nicely. Some years passed and Sita Mata became pregnant. This wasn't known to anyone. Lord Ram's spies were actually all around the city. And you might think, why has Lord Ram got spies? Lord Ram's reason for having spies is very different than other kings. Lord Ram in his kingdom, when he would look around and he'd have spies, they say that Lord Ram wouldn't eat until everyone in his kingdom has eaten. And throughout his spies, he would see what are they saying that's good about the kingdom and what are they saying that's bad about the kingdom that the Lord can improve. So Lord was a very, very nice monarch like that. So one day, one of his spies came and he said to the Lord, what news do you have today? And he wasn't saying anything. And the Lord said to the spy, come on, tell me, I need to know. And so the spy said, there was one person whose wife had gone to stay at her own father's house. And when she came back the next day, the husband was there with a mother-in-law, and the husband said to her, you're not going to come back in the house. And the wife said, what are you talking about? And he goes, you stayed in another man's house. She goes, what are you going about? That's my father's house. And he said that this person said, I am not like Lord Ram, who when my wife stays in the man of another house, I will take him back. He goes, he's a great person. I'm not a great person. I will not have you in my house like this. And when Lord Ram heard this, he was very, very upset. And it's literally for someone like that, who is in that member of society, was one of the members of society who has nothing to do with the king whatsoever, just a random citizen in Ayodhya, a massive, huge kingdom. Ayodhya was like the size of Amravati or Indra's kingdom. So one singular person who doesn't hold any sort of position or anything like that, criticizing the Lord. One sadhu said very nicely, he goes, it's not that this person he was a Dorbi, and he said, it's not that person that's the Dorbi said it, and that's why Lord Ram exiled Sita Mata from Ayodhya. He said it's Dorbi Nebika, that even a Dorbi was talking about it, which means a lot of people in Ayodhya were actually talking about it. So the word had become so commonplace that even a Dorbi had the nerve to criticize Lord Ram. And you might think, well, hold on, where is this written? Well, it is written in the Garga Sangita, 5th canto, chapter 10, text 6. It says, Iti lokad bahumukad vakyam shrutva raghava sitayam tyajaya sahasya vana loka pravatata. And the translation is, hearing from many mouths that the people were criticizing him. Lord Ramchandra exiled Sita to the forest. From many mouths. So it is Dobi ne bi kaha. So Sita Mata had to leave. And I've explained in previous Ram Navamis and other festivals that the reason was Sita Mata was pregnant with the Lord Ram's children. And these weren't just any children. These were future emperors of the Ikshvaku dynasty, of the Surya Vansh. They were emperors of the world. And Lord Ram did it for the protection of Sita Mata and Lavankush and the Praja. Because if Sita Mata had stayed there and Lord Ram had kept her there, she would know that everyone's talking about her. And the children would grow up knowing that everyone's talking negatively about my mother. So the children would feel an innate anger towards the population. When they're supposed to treat the population like their own children, they would be treating them like the enemy, thinking these people so criticize my mother. And this is where parents always should be very careful. Whoever the parents have enmity with, the children will automatically have enmity with them. Whoever the parents have got negative feeling towards, or they actually speak of negatively in the house, the children will pick it up. So the Lord was worried that if Lavankush hear this, not only in the future will they not govern the population properly, they may punish them due to this sin that they did of criticizing Sita Mata. So another reason was that when a lady is pregnant, she should be in a very nice environment. in an environment where there's no anger, there's no jealousy, no hatred, nothing like that. A very serene environment, because the child is being developed in the womb. So in that time, you listen to a lot of katha, you have kirtan all the time. There's always positivity. So Sita Mata being pregnant in that sort of environment would mean that Love and Kush wouldn't have the correct atmosphere to be born in. So where did the Lord actually deliver Sita Mata to? To Valmiki's ashram. They're away from all of the troubles in Ayodhya, where Love and Kush were brought up very, very nicely by Valmiki and made very much skilled and talented in everything required to be great monarchs for Ayodhya and for the Praja there. So going back to the Dobi, Lord Ram didn't actually kill him. He didn't kill him at that point in time. But that Dobi, you must think, well, what happened to him? How can he get away with such a sin of criticizing Lord Ram and Sita Mata? Funnily enough, that Dobi, the bird, was born again in Krishna's pastimes. And again, they say like some jobs you just can't get away from. He was born as a Dobi again. And he was born in Mathura as a Dobi. So when Krishna and Balaram came, and they were walking through Mathura, and everyone was giving them so many nice things. People were coming to them, garlanding them with flowers, sandalwood paste, perfume, so many things. They went to the ghat where they were washing all the clothes, and they saw Kansa's clothes, and they said, please give us these clothes. We would like to wear them. Everyone was giving Krishna and Balaram so many things because they looked so transcendentally beautiful. They thought they should get the best of everything. And they weren't charging them. They were simply giving them for free out of love. So when they came there, it's the first time Krishna and Balaram actually asked, can you give us these clothes? We would like to wear them. And the Dobi immediately started criticizing, who do you think you are? These are the clothes of the king. How dare you? You're not worthy of this. And was saying so many insults to Krishna and Balaram. And he said again in this Garga Sangita, text 8, Kuvakya dosho shanti artham tam jagana harir svayam tadapi pradatu moksham tasmay shri karunanidhi. To stop his blasphemy, however, Lord Krishna killed him. Then the Lord, who is an ocean of mercy, gave him liberation. So what the Lord actually did was hit him on the top of the head, and he went 6 foot underground and died. And he said the soul came out of that body and merged into the body of Krishna afterwards. So the Lord actually gave him mukti. So finally, that bird who had cursed Sita Mata, doing all of this stuff in Ayodhya, got mukti when the Lord killed him. So this is you've got the nice Leela there of Sita Mata's exile. So another thing that people often worry about, and same with myself, how was Ravan able to kidnap Sita Mata? So it's actually said that when Lord Ram was in Chitrakoot, and Bharat Milap was happening with Lord Ram and Bharat, at a certain point, Lord Ram said to Bharat that, okay, whatever you decide, I will follow along. If you decide that my dharma is, because Lord Bharat was very, very pakka on dharma. So whatever you decide, that I'll agree to. So at that point, that night where Bharat had to decide, so many of the demigods came to visit Bharat, and they said to him, look, realize the Lord comes down, paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya tatushkitam. The Lord has come to kill this Ravan and so many demons. If Lord Ram returns to Ayodhya, that's not going to happen. Ikshvaku himself appeared there to Bharat, who is his dynasty Bharat is in, and said to him, look, this is the mission of the Lord. You have to let him do this. So when Bharat decided that Lord Ram, you can go, you can fulfill my father's word. After that, Lord Ram left Chitrakoot because he thought, if I'm going to stay here, I'll always be thinking of Bharat. And he's promised Sita Mata, actually, that this time in the forest, we're going to go and enjoy together. Because it's a husband and wife outing. That's the way, look, if people go on holiday, they go to so many nice places in the forest. So Sita and Ram were like that. They had Lakshman with them. They said, we're going for a 14-year outing. Sita Mata was very looking forward to spending time with Lord Ram, away from everyone else. So when they went there, they left Chitrakoot and they met some sages. And the sages were showing Lord Ram around the area. And on the way, Lord Ram saw a big mountain, a big white mountain. And Lord Ram asked the sages, he said to them, what is this mountain? What is it made out of? Is it made out of salt? Is it made out of some other white substance? I'm curious, what is it? And the sages said to him, this mountain is made out of the bones of sages. And Lord Ram was shocked. And he goes, well, how is this? He said, the demons in the surrounding area are going around killing sadhus, eating them and leaving their bones there. And Lord Ram became so angry, he did a pratigya to say, I will rid this whole world of Rakshasas. And the sages were immediately very pleased. And it said Sita Mata, for the first time, got angry with the Lord. You might think, hold on, we've never heard of Sita Mata becoming angry with the Lord. So this is the wonderful position. Sita Mata is considered right wing, and Radharani is considered left wing. So left-wing associates of the Lord, they give pleasure to the Lord by getting upset at the Lord. And so this is a right-wing is different. They serve the Lord by just doing whatever he said. So the very nice example is given. Right-wing, like Sita Mata, is that Sita Mata is always there, folded hands in front of the Lord. What would you like me to do? And left-wing, like Radharani, is Krishna's always there, folded hands for Radha. What would you like me to do? So he said, Sita Mata is normally right-wing. He goes, for that moment when Lord Ram vowed to kill all the demons, she became angry with the Lord. And she goes, you said we were going to go there to go around the forest together and enjoy and spend time together. Now you vow to kill them. What happened now? How are we going to spend time together? And it says Sita Mata went into Man. And Lord Ram, I said at that point, even the sages thought, oh, this is a husband and wife fight going on. And so they backed away. They said Lakshman backed away as well and started to smile to himself. He didn't want to get involved in anything. He thought this is a discussion between them two. And Lord Ram said to Sita Mata, he said, look, he goes, please become pacified now. He goes, please, he goes, the next incarnation when we come as Radha Krishna, and he goes, I don't mind. Every single day you can get upset with me, and every single day I'll try and make it up to you. So this happens in Vrindavan. Every day, Krishna manages to do something to get Radharani upset. And every day he's having to try and make it up. So it's wonderful pastimes of the Lord. And actually, at that point, Durga Mata appeared with Lord Shivji. And she'd been hearing pastimes of Lord Ram from Lord Shiva. They're always hearing this Amrit Katha. And Durga Mata came and Sita and Lord Ram greeted them, and Durga Mata said, I want to ask for a boon from you, Lord Ram. Lord Ram said, yes, anything. And she said, I want to serve Sita Mata. Personally, I want to serve Sita Mata. And Lord Ram said, yeah, that's fine. He goes, but there'll be a time for that. So he gave the boon and said, yes, no problem. So everyone knows the story when Lord Ram is staying in Panchpati and they get the golden deer comes and Lord Ram goes away. So before that time, Lord Ram obviously knew this was going to come, and so did Sita Mata. So it said that Lord Ram made a fire, and Agni Dev, Sita walked into the fire, and Agni Dev actually took Sita Mata to Shivji and Parvati, and Durga Mata there was able to serve her. From the fire, Agni Dev made a Chaya form of Sita, and that came out. And literally, this was when, just before the Mrig came, just before the actual golden deer came. So that's why Sita Mata had never asked Lord Ram for anything before that, like specifically, I want this. So he said that when Sita Mata saw the golden deer and said to Lord Ram, I would really like this thing. Lord Ram thought, wow, this is the first time Sita Mata has ever asked me for anything. So even though he wasn't inclined to go and get the golden deer for her, he goes, this is the first time Madhava asked me something, I have to do it. So he said that then, obviously, Lord Ram went, the golden deer situation happened, and Lakshman also went, and Ravan came to actually abduct Sita Mata. And people often ask the question, how is it that Ravan was able to even kidnap Sita Mata? Because Sita Mata herself was so incredibly powerful. At the time of Sita Swayamvar, Sita Mata, they'd been described that the reason Sita Swayamvar was there and had happened, and why Janak Maharaj had put this condition in place for someone to lift Lord Shiva's bow, was because Sita Mata, when she was young, her mother, Sanena Devi, used to worship this Shiv Pinak that Parshuram had given to Janak. And this Shiv Pinak was actually the bow Lord Shiva had used to fight with. And if you can imagine Lord Shiva, how strong he is, he would need a bow of incredible strength and weight to be able to take the force of him actually firing those arrows. So it was incredibly heavy. It took 25,000 men just to lift it. Even the box that it came in, it took 10,000 men just to lift the lid of the box, because the box had to be so takra to hold this actual dhanush. And it says Sanena Devi used to worship that every single day with flowers. And the lid was left open. She would come and worship, and she'd put the flowers on top of the dhanush. And obviously, those flowers, when they would dry up, would drop off to the side. And now she couldn't reach underneath because the bow needs 25,000 people. So she would simply put another flower on top. One day they said to Sita Mata, when it was the time when Sanena Devi couldn't do it, they said, Sita Mata, she's old enough, you should go and worship. So she'd been taught exactly how to worship with all the vidhi. So Sita Mata, who's bhakti herself, went there. And when she took the flowers there and she saw underneath the bow, all these dried up flowers were there and it wasn't clean. She immediately became angry. She put the plate down. With one hand, she lifted the Shiv Pinak, and with the other hand, started clearing all the flowers out of the box. And Janak and Sanena were watching and they were thinking, my God, our daughter's so powerful. She can lift this Shiv Pinak that 25,000 men, soldiers, it takes to lift. So Janak Maharaj had said, I will only marry Sita to someone who can lift this bow, string it, and put the actual string the bow. Even to string the bow, you have to realize the bow itself flexes when it fires. When you pull the thing back, the bow flexes. So you have to string it, you have to pull it down and flex something so strong and heavy. So someone that can actually string the bow is very, very powerful. So it said that Ravan actually at one point had come to that Svayamvar and tried to lift and couldn't even lift it an inch. So if Sita Mata could lift the dhanush, don't you think she could kill Ravan? It's obvious that this was a Leela. And actually, there's a katha in one of the Ramayans where after Ravan was killed, there was Ravan's brother called Ahiravan. Sorry, am I going over? Because I've got so much katha, it'll probably go on for like an hour. How long about? Okay, so I'll just do 5-10 minutes more and then finish. So yeah, so basically, when Lord Ram was winning after Indrajit had been killed, Ravan's mother reminded Ravan that you got a brother called Ahiravan and he lives in Patal. He had initially declined to help Ravan because he said, Ravan, this is wrong what you've done kidnapping Sita Mata. I'm not going to help you. But his mother said to him, go and ask him now, because there's a chance he may help you because of such a dire situation that the Kul is in, the actual dynasty is in. So when they asked Ahiravan, he asked in such a way to convince him to say, Ahiravan, you're such a worshipper of Kali Mata, you should offer the bali of Ram and Lakshman to them. So Ahiravan agreed to this. So yeah, this is good. I'll offer them as a sacrifice to Kali Mata. So he said, Vibhishan got very afraid when he heard that they were contacting Ahiravan because he was a master of very incredible mystic powers he had. And he realized if someone comes to try and kidnap Ram and Lakshman, he'll be able to do it. So he warned Hanuman, he said, look, this is a place where Ram and Lakshman are staying. You guard this place so no one can come in. So what Hanumanji did was he actually put his tail and made circles and circles around the hut where Ram and Lakshman were staying and sat on top so no one could come in. And it said this Ahiravan tried so many times to come in, changing his form to so many different people. Hanumanji saw everything. Then he came as Vibhishan. And it said when he came as Vibhishan, Hanumanji let him in. And it said that Hanumanji, when he let him in, immediately from there, Ahiravan made Rama and Lakshman unconscious and through underground took them into Patal Lok. And at that point in time, when he got to Patal Lok, Rama and Lakshman were unconscious and Hanumanji actually had to go and save them. So the whole Leela where Hanumanji goes down and actually goes and rescues Ram and Lakshman. When he gets there, there's many different versions to how it works, but one of them is that Ahiravan's life potency was distributed amongst 5 different candles all around the huge palace where he was staying. And Hanuman tried to kill Ahiravan and he wouldn't die because every time he would be born again. So he found out from one of the people there that the way to kill him, you have to blow out all of those 5 candles at once. So Hanumanji actually generated 5 faces and in every angle went and blew out the candles, and then he was able to kill Ahiravan. So it said Lord Ram killed Ravan, Hanumanji killed Ahiravan, who was 100 times more powerful than Ravan. Then when Sita Mata at the end, when Chaya Sita was brought back to Lord Ram did Agni Pariksha in front of everyone. And that wasn't to test Sita's chastity. It was because Sita Mata was actually with Durga Mata. And at that point, Durga Mata brought Sita Mata back. Chaya Sita went in and Durga Mata gave the real Sita out from the fire. So real Sita was never actually in Lanka. So when they got onto the Pushpak Viman and were heading home, someone called Mahiravan came, who was 1,000 times more powerful than Ravan. And Ram and Lakshman went to fight him, and with his mystic potency, he made Ram and Lakshman unconscious. And he grabbed Ram and Lakshman and was going to eat them. At that point, Sita Mata became so enraged, she took the form of Bhadrakali and killed Mahiravan, took Ram and Lakshman back and sat down. So you can see Sita Mata is so powerful. She killed someone 1,000 times more powerful than Ravan. So this is all a Leela for the Lord actually to go and fulfill the actual purpose of the Lord's mission. So you might ask, okay, this is very nice, but is it in Valmiki Ramayan? How can you say that this is authentic? Well, actually, if you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's a katha in there where, well, not a katha, Leela, where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually went to Madurai and met with a Brahmin called Ram Das Vipra. Now, this Brahmin was a great devotee of Lord Ram, and he was actually sitting in a temple and he was crying. And when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to him, he goes, "Why are you crying?" He goes, I love Lord Ram. He goes, but still to this day, it pains me in the heart that Ravan was able to touch the body of Sita Mata. How is it this? How is he able to touch Kishoriji like that? And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, don't worry, I'll find out for you. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu traveled to Rameshwaram, and in the temple there, he had read the Kurma Puran. And in that, he discovered a passage which said the form of Sita kidnapped by Ravan was not the real Sita, but a mere shadow representation. And this is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 1:117. And it said that the Kurma Puran states that this shadowy Sita was placed in a fire as a test of chastity, and it was Maya Sita that entered the fire and the real Sita that came out. And he said Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very glad to read about the false Sita, and he remembered his meeting with Ramdas Vipra, who was very sorry that Sita had been kidnapped by Ravan. And he said the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eagerly tore this page from the Kurma Puran, even though the book was very old, and took it all the way back to Madurai to show. And Ramdas Vipra was so happy about this, so he bowed down to the Lord and said, actually, you are Lord Sri Ramachandra. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually confirmed this Chaya Sita is accurate. So I'd like to end the Ram Leela today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're enjoying this wonderful Ram Navami festival.
Pass on to Vidura.
Hare Krishna. So I hope that everybody enjoyed. I hope that everybody enjoyed the evening program today. I would like to appeal to everybody that most of you should have received our messages. This is a festival, and that to help our temple in these troublesome times when people are unable to visit the temple, but the temple functions are carrying on as normal by our two wonderful pujaris, Sachinandan and Vibhu Prabhus. And actually, if you go on a darshan group, they also glorify Lord Ram today, and you will see a video clip of them doing aarti and cake cutting. So please do look at that afterwards. But the temple service is going on, and the expenses are going on also, right? Just like your household. So although we're not at the temple, but please support the temple and give a donation on this festival day, and please continue to give donations. It will help us very much. One thing we are asking you can try and do is sponsor a service for £25, either a morning service or an evening service, and that is already started by a few people. Please, if you can cover all the services 7 days a week, morning and evening, it'd be a great contribution on your part. We have already received some donations prior to today's program, and I really want to thank them. These donations were received by Mrs. Roy, Pushpa Rathi, Pragnesh. Madhava, you must wish Pragnesh happy birthday today. Today is his birthday, so he has given donation for today's offerings to the Lordship. Shraddha Mataji from Rugby, and Harish Bhai Dokia. He came for one of our programs when Maharaj came, Jayadvaita Maharaj, and he was so impressed by the changes we did to our temple and the presentation by, I think, Gurusevak and Anuragi. They took him around. He was so impressed. He was inspired with a little reminding to give a donation. So I want to thank you very much, because today he has pledged £1,008 for the refurbishment. So he should be thanked very much. Thank you. Also, I think on this day of Lord Ram Navami, 8 o'clock for Thursdays is supposed to be appreciate the NHS workers, and we've included today. They included other key workers, like the school teachers who still go in, the drivers, the farmers, the shopkeepers. All these people are continuing to work for the society. So we pray that Lord Ram blesses them on this day and supports them in whatever way he sees fit. And finally, I wonder how many of you made a cake, but in my house, Vidurani has made a cake as best as she could by not going out, but it looks wonderful. And if we ask Gurusevak to do a kirtan, and we'll do the cake cutting here. Maybe your cakes in your own homes. But can we finish the program by the cake cutting and little kirtan? And I hope you enjoyed the program. This is the first time I think second time we tried this. We had a few technical issues here. Maybe some of you would also, but we'll only get better at this. So Hare Krishna. So we'll stand up now. I will light the jyot. This is the altar we made for Shri Ram today. That's the cake.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you in there?
Yes. So I request if someone else can sing. Gurusevak, would be nice if you do the kirtan.
Nandana Rakha Ram Hare रामनवमी महोत्सव की सीताराम लक्ष्मण की गौर प्रेमानंदे